with reading. I have a very beautiful book called Moonshot. This is about the actual flight of Apollo 11. Does everybody raise your hand if you know what Apollo 11 is? James, what is Apollo 11? Is that a person's name? What is it?
They made a launch to the moon.
Yes. Do you think that took a lot of work?
Yes. Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So, watch the details, not only in the pictures, but in the words. Because I'm going to be asking you questions. There it is. Isn't that amazing? Can you imagine writing in that?
No.
I would have to take a lot of Dramamine, meaning a medication that helps you not get sick when you are flying. High above, there is the moon, cold and quiet. No air, no life, but glowing in the sky. There it is. So their words, cold, quiet, no air, no life. What would you say, how does that describe the moon? Does it sound like a place where we could live?
No.
What is a word that gives it a little bit of a different appearance? There is one word in the last sentence. High above, there is the moon, cold and quiet, no air, no life, but glowing in the sky. What part of that, what word sticks out there because it's very different, vastly different than all the other descriptives? Emmy. Glowing. Does the moon glow in the sky?
No.
Yes. At night, do you see it glowing? Yes. You can even see it sometimes in the daytime. So yes, it does glow. All right, here below, there are men and women plotting new paths and drawing new plans. They are sewing suits, assembling ships, and writing codes for computers. Nuts and bolts, needles and thread, and numbers, numbers, numbers. Thousands of people for millions of parts. So look at, what are they planning for? Boy, they're writing things on the blackboard. This is actually, friends, a computer. Back in the day of Apollo, computers looked very different. In fact, has anyone seen the movie Hidden Figures? It's an amazing, amazing movie. Before there were computers, they were called human computers, where they did all the mathematical equations in their head on the chalkboards with no computer. Extremely intelligent. And Hidden Figures is about a group of African American women who, and one in particular, who cracked the code, who figured out the equation for them to get the Apollo to the moon. Highly recommend. So how does the author tell us in this page, what are some of the words that shows you what the amount of work that went into this? Here below there are men and women. What are they doing? Wensheen?
They're typing.
They're what?
They're typing.
Piping? Typing numbers, equations. Yes. Emmy, what else are they doing?
Sewing.
Sewing what?
Suit.
Suits for who? Astronauts. Yes. Do you have to wear special suits if you're an astronaut?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Why do you have to wear special suits? Why can't you wear a swimming suit? Because we learned in the very beginning that there is what? No air. It's cold. No life. So if you were going to the moon, do you think you would have to wear special clothing? Why? To what? Emmy or M?
Survive.
Survive, protect. Keep yourself warm. So what else are they building? So they're doing equations on the blackboard, computers, they're writing equations. What are they doing here? What are they making? Owen. Spaceship. And look at this guy, he's got a ruler out, he's got little models so that they can make the spaceship. And here, this lady, they're making those space suits for the astronauts. Do you think this was something that took a couple days?
No.
And now, here below, there are 3 men who clothe themselves in those new suits, who are ready to ride in those new ships. They click, lock hands in heavy gloves, and click, lock heads in large, round helmets. It is summer here in Florida, hot and near the sea. But now these men are dressed for colder, stranger places. They walk with stiff and awkward steps in suits not made for Earth. They have studied and practiced and trained and said goodbye to family and friends. If all goes well, they will be gone for 1 week. Gone where no one has been before. Do you think that's got to be a little nerve-wracking?
Yes.
What would be one aspect of it that would be nerve-wracking? Did you notice the word new is used a lot?
Yes.
New what? What is something new that was mentioned in this page? New what? Jonathan?
Spaceship.
New spaceship. What else is new? Olivia? New gloves. What else is new? Cole? New suits. So when you hear the word new, and you hear about, oh, and then what else is new? What else, where are they going? Has anyone ever been there before?
No.
Do they have any idea what is on the moon?
No.
So not only are they traveling and risking their lives to go somewhere where they have no clue what they're going to find, the spaceship is new. This is the first spaceship to ever go to the moon. Could things go wrong?
Yes.
Yes. These spacesuits, will they work?
Maybe.
Did they know?
No.
No. And then, do you think that these big suits are easy to walk in?
No.
What gives you the clue that it was hard to walk in? Does anybody remember the name or the words that were used? But now these men are dressed for colder, stranger places. They walk with what? Can anybody remember one of the words? Jeremiah?
Gravity?
No. How did they walk in these things? Do you think they could just go woo-hoo-hoo?
No.
Or do they kind of walk?
Yes. Yes.
So what was the word that explained that? They walk with blank and blank steps. M. Stiff. So they don't have a lot of mobility in these big suits. And what other kind of step? Toby. Awkward. Very good. Stiff and awkward. And also, we complain about our masks. They got a globe helmet over their head. Do you think it's easy to breathe in?
No.
Who has been in Florida in the summer?
No.
Is it nice and cool? It is hot and it's humid. So can you imagine how you would feel in this suit in a hot and humid Florida morning or Florida summer day?
Yes.
So do you think it's comfortable?
No.
No. I mean, they'll be thankful when they get into the cold atmosphere of the moon, but not right now. All right, let's listen. Their 2 small spaceships are Columbia and Eagle. They are locked to the top of the rocket that will lift them into space. A monster of a machine. It stands 30 stories. It weighs 6, oh my goodness, million pounds. A tower full of fuel and fire and valves and pipes and engines. Too big to believe, but built to fly. The mighty, massive Saturn V. All right, how comforting is that? To be strapped on top of a 36-story, 6 million pound tower full of fuel and fire. The astronauts squeeze in to Columbia's sideways seats, lying on their backs, facing toward the sky. Neil Armstrong on the left, Michael Collins on the right, Buzz Aldrin in the middle. Are these real people?
Yes.
They are. Who are they? What is the name? What is the title of these brave men? They're doctors, scientists. What are they called? They are kind of that too, but what are they called? Caroline, astronauts. Click, and they fasten straps. Clunk, and the hatch is sealed. There they wait, T-minus 2 hours, with the Saturn humming beneath them. What is the Saturn, friends? It is the monster of a machine. It's 36 stories high, and it weighs 6 million pounds. That's what's going to thrust them, basically blow them into past the Earth's atmosphere. So, how would you feel about that? I think I would be saying a lot of prayers to God.
Yes. Anxious.
And I would be, anxious. Other emotions that you think you would be feeling if you were strapped. Strapped? Do you think there's air conditioning?
No.
Do you think it was hot?
Yes.
Busy?
Yes.
And if you've ever been really, really nervous, do you start to sweat?
Yes.
So if you can imagine stuck in this little teeny tiny cockpit under the 36-story, weighing 6 million pounds tower full of fuel and fire, what would happen if one spark hit that fuel? One lone, really bad spark. What would happen to the entire thing? People and all. Jeremiah. Boom. Would you say these men are brave?
Yes.
Incredibly brave. So here is Control Center. Near the rocket in launch control and far away in Houston, so they're in Florida, Houston, Texas is where this is at. In mission control, there are numbers, screens, and charts, ways of watching and checking every system and part of Apollo 11. The fuel, the valves, the pipes, the engines, the beats of the astronauts' hearts. Do you think they're going fast?
Yes.
Ooh, I would think so. The hours turn to minutes, and now the countdown quickens. The hours turn to minutes. Who can tell me from the last page how long they had to wait in this little cockpit? There they wait. T-minus how many hours, Owen? 2 hours. They have to sit and wait and listen to all the sounds. The hours, okay, everyone watching is asking the question. Go. No, go? And everyone watching answers back. Go. 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 Apollo 11 is go for launch. So do you think these people are nervous?
Yes.
Because these people are the folks who helped this whole mission to come to fruition. So they have a lot of thought. They have a lot of work that has gone behind all of this. Whoa. Okay, remember what is in this 36-story tower that our men, brave astronauts are on? What is it? How much does it weigh? 6 million pounds. Do you think that when it launches, there's going to be a lot of fire?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course.
Liftoff.
Whoa. The lights of this really.
The rocket is released. Look at all that. It rises foot by foot. It rises pound by pound. Do you think that sounded a little loud?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it would sound really, really loud. Do you think it goes really slow or really, really fast?
Fast.
So these astronauts are basically just shot into space really fast. Probably nothing that we could even fathom. Has anyone been on a roller coaster and did a really big fall down? Well, if you can imagine shooting up that fast and probably multiplying it by 1,000, if not more. Ugh, that makes my tummy hurt. It climbs the summer sky. It rises a flapping, crackling flame and shakes the air, shakes the earth, and makes a mighty roar. There it is.
Wow. So tiny.
But is it tiny?
No.
It's not. But when it gets into the sky, Owen, please stop writing on yourself. It does look tiny. And then once it hits the atmosphere, are they even going to be able to see it?
No.
Or is it still going higher and higher and higher?
Yes.
Yes.
Can they control the spaceship or not?
Did they show it in real life? Did you?
No. Can they control the spaceship?
Not really, not in this phase, because they are under all of that power. That rocket has full control, and it's just shooting up. Now, once the rockets are released, and then the astronauts will have more control. But at this point, they are just a moving missile. They have no control because of all the power that is beneath them that's thrusting them up. But that's a really good question. It'd be like trying to stop a semi. You know, I mean, really, if you put it in, probably even more than that. But if you can fathom that, that is more so. I mean, this is even more so than that. So we're going to read a little more, and then we'll quit. Armstrong, Collins, Aldrin ride the fire and thunder. Well, I like that. Fire and thunder, pressed in their seats, their bodies as heavy as clay. The rocket below them sheds parts as it soars. Bolts explode. Engines ignite. First stage, second stage, escape tower, gone. So these things they're losing all these parts of the rocket that's thrusting them up. So basically, it just falls apart. It gets to a certain point in the atmosphere, and it's poof, it goes, falls to the ground. Then, after an orbit around the Earth, I missed. The rocket flies later. The rocket flies faster. In 12 minutes' time, it's 100 miles high. Then, after an orbit around the Earth, to talk with mission control to check the course, and the rocket and ships, the rocket's last stage fires again, pushing the astronauts on. And when the Earth has rolled beneath and rolled behind and let the astronauts go, the Saturn's last stage opens wide and releases Columbia, the small silver ship that sat at the top of the rocket. And here, hidden till now, is Eagle 2, a stranger ship, more bug than bird, a black and gold enfolded spider. Michael Collins, Columbia's pilot, turns his back around, points her toward the eagle. All right, so all of this is happening. First stage is that they are just, then eventually all these different stages occurs, and this big giant rocket falls apart, and meaning to, it releases, and eventually, here they are. That's where the astronauts are. So this all, you can see these pictures of all the parts. And it's all intended. It's not an accident. All these parts are falling away from the astronauts' shuttle or spacecraft. So then they're not being thrust. Then they have more control.
Wait, where does all those parts go?
Mainly up on Earth. The hope is that they land in the ocean and not in somebody's farm field or on somebody's. So that's all calculated in this whole mission, is that a lot of it lands in the ocean. It's a good question. It'd be a little bit of a shock if you're sitting in school and all of a sudden part of a rocket comes flying down.
I'll take it.
Oh, I see there's Stanhill trains up there. He's just hanging. All right, so this is where we're going to leave off, and I will do more tomorrow. So, oh, look at that. There it is. What is this, friends? So how amazing would it be once you got up there and you got through the scary part of the massiveness of this explosion underneath you, thrusting you up, and this is what you saw. Would that not be spectacular?
I just want to jump out and head towards it.
Yeah, it would be pretty amazing. And then to land on that. Even though it'd be really scary because you're thinking, okay, so we got through this stage. What about the next stage and the next? Because there's a lot that could go wrong. Because what is the word that they describe? This is all very what? New. Meaning it's never been done before. The research is new. The equipment is new. They have no history. They have no idea if it's all going to work. And these three astronauts are hoping and praying that it does. All right, so that is for today. We're going to do more tomorrow. Good job. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to. All right. Let's get out Charlotte and read. Perfect timing. Oh, it's hot in here. Or is it just me?
Right in there.
You think it's cold in here?
It's hot in
I
here.
think it's so stuffy. Yeah, I don't know if they have the heat on or what, but I hope not. I'm going to just send a text and say we're roasting. But you know what? Are we really? I think about the astronauts underneath all that fuel and fire. Are we really roasting? In perspective, everything's perspective, right? I'm just going to see if they could check. So you guys are all hot too?
Yes. I'm super
Yeah, don't wear any coats.
Now it's good. I'm going to get you a sweatshirt. I want to use it cold.
Oh, I wish I could say I'm cold. That feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It is hot in here. It's stuffy. What we need are some ceiling fans.
Yeah, we do.
Wouldn't that be nice?
We could each have our own little steam.
Yes. Caroline. Okay, friends, I need you to Oh, how long is that?